if you're using an AI management tool to manage your Amazon advertising, I guarantee you that you're probably burning at least half of your ad spend. And the worst part about it is it's not even that noticeable, it's all hidden. My name is Vadim, I have an Amazon PPC boutique agency helping clients sell and increase their revenue on Amazon, and we manage over $10 million in ad sales for our clients. What I'd like you to show you in this video is an audit we've done for one of the accounts that's managed by one of the largest AI Amazon PPC management tools in space, and how it wastes over $60,000 in a month that could be easily recovered with a proper structure. So what I'd like to show you here, and it's obviously all of this information is anonymized, private, there is no brand names or anything like that. It's an audit we've done showing that where your AI platform is burning your spend and how to stop it. So before I begin, now there is always use cases for using AI for brands with large catalogs, for brands who just want to leave things on autopilot and grow. But if you're a brand that truly cares about your margins, you know your products, you really need to either find a good AI tool that has a human strategist in place, or you need to have audit done, one like this. So what we're looking here is at a typical AI tool that's managing over $143,000 in ad spend over the last 60 days. So what we are seeing here is there is blended ACoS that's 42%, nothing too alarming. TACoS is 25.9%. That's pretty high considering it's not a supplement brand, and most of the sales are coming from advertising. Now, the three issues that I find that happens with AI management software is, first of all, they create a lot of targets. So they harvest a lot of campaigns. They spawn this, the structure of single campaign per keyword, and there's thousands of campaigns in the account. It's not an issue, but it's an issue if all of these campaigns are spending less than $5. Number two is, all of these hour-by-hour management rules. So you just end up reducing your spend so much that it's just hard to optimize it. And to show you some specifics, there is 1,400 campaigns in this account. Most of them are single target. So the platform spawns a campaign per keyword per ASIN, and that is impossible to optimize, considering that what I'm about to show you, they spend like $5 and less in the last 60 days. Not only that, there is internal bidding war. The software does not understand that there is like 64 campaigns bidding on the same keyword. Like, how are you possibly going to optimize it? If there is 64 instances of you bidding on the same keyword, like, you're definitely paying the inflated cost per click. And the focus of this presentation is wasted ad spend. So you might not be seeing my screen here, so I'm going to zoom in. So the wasted ad spend, we have $74,000, which is 50% of the total spend, spent on zero sale search terms. And so, like, what you're going to do about this information, that's over $500,000 spent on absolutely nothing that could have been avoided if you had a proper plan and strategy in place. So now moving back onto the next slide, just looking at the performance at glance. Sponsored products, majority of the spend, sponsored brands, there is zero sponsored display ads whatsoever. And over the last 60 days, the brand is producing $500,000 in sales. 25% TACoS, fairly high and very ad driven. Okay, so the issue number one is what I've mentioned. There is 1,400 campaigns, 889 of them are single target, and majority of them are not even spending money. So this all software does is it worries about meeting your ACoS targets, your spend budget targets, and it just keeps spawning these single keyword campaigns. So we have 400 campaigns spending $10 or less. That's 40% of the total spend. We have 298 campaigns spending $10 to $50, and that's $30. So 1,400 campaigns for one brand with 620 unique targets per campaign. That's one and a half keywords per campaign on average. And many of those keywords they sit in 30 different campaigns, so they are also competing with each other. So the takeaway here is 71% of the campaigns on this account spend under $50 in 60 days. So just sorry, that's my microphone that fell down. So just think about it. 70% of the campaigns. So you have like 800 or 1,000 campaigns with less than $50 in spend in the last 60 days. Each of the keywords has its own bid logic, budget, optimization signal, and all of the signals are convoluted because there is just so much data, and there is so many keywords and there is so little data, and the AI goes optimized by every hour, bid down, and then you end up with this account that's just too messy and there's just too much going on. There are too many signals in there too thin to mean anything. You cannot optimize based on this $50 in like 60 days. Like, the algorithm is changing. There is new competitors that come in the market, like who's tracking that, who's tracking if they're running deals. All of this information should be tracked, and your PPC strategy should be based on those external market signals. Now the issue number two, and I kind of find it funny, like, when people say, oh, like, your products compete against with each other, like you have multiple parent listings in the same category and they compete. I wouldn't say it's an issue because, like, usually the keywords have sufficient volume to prevent it. But when you have a single product bidding 64 times on the same keywords, there is definitely some inflation of cost per click that is happening. So, for example, how you have product A, keyword A, 64 campaigns competing, there is this much spent. So there are instances where this seller simply inflates their own ACoS. Now, the issue number three is like the zero sales terms. So the issues with advertising software are, like I said, it doesn't understand your margins. And then the one I'm talking about, zero sales search terms, it simply does not know when to pause it because it doesn't know your margin. We have keywords with $100 in spend, over 180% ACoS. Never post, keep spending. There is ones with zero sales, it keeps spending regardless. And that's $31,000 spent on search on zero sale search terms, and that's completely wasted. And it can be easily recovered, by the way. And then just talking about the actual bid management, there is $24,000 spent on ACoS levels of above 50%. Now, I don't see it as much of an issue because we have ranking campaigns, priority keywords that require higher ACoS depending on their conversion. But I guarantee you that the software has no idea about what keywords are important, how it ranks organically, etc. So most of this is likely waste. I'm not saying 100% of this could be recovered. More like 50% of this could be recovered just with better bid management. Now, something about also sponsored brands. What you have to understand, at least on a surface level, that sponsored brands, they do not result in that same organic sales power as sponsored products do, simply because that's how Amazon operates. If you're pushing sponsored products, you will see organic sales grow. If you're pushing sponsored brands, I guarantee you that you will not get any organic sales from it. Like, it will not improve your organic rank. It will improve the BSR, but not the organic position on a given keyword. And that's what we are left off with. Like, there is another $14,000 on zero sale SB search terms, and that's significant. And like the zero sale search terms, there is also ACoS. So if you have an ACoS target of, I don't like ACoS targets, they're secondary. But whatever ACoS target you have for sponsored brands, like at least for our client that we manage, the sponsored brand target, it should be lower because, like I said, the sponsored brand ads, they do not contribute in the same kind of fashion to the organic rank that like sponsored products do. And so adding this all up, there is $74,000 that's inefficient. There is zero sale search terms in both sponsored products and sponsored brands. There is above target ACoS terms in sponsored products and sponsored brands, which is not as big of an issue. We could say some of it, but none of it. But for zero sale search terms, we could meaningfully reduce it by quite a lot. So that's about $37,000 per month wasted by having an AI tool, thinking it does its job, it's meeting your ACoS, but you have you have a building, you have a concrete building built on wooden sticks. Like, this is what I'd call this account. The structure is weak, and it's gonna break eventually when all of this wasted ad spend adds up. It hurts the margins. And so, why does AI platforms model produces this outcome? One keyword per campaign. It spawns a separate campaign for every keyword. With 50 keywords, with 50 products, 20 different keywords, that's already 1,000 campaigns, and each holds too little data to optimize. Even for the AI software and this hourly bid management algorithm that's so glorified. There is no cross-campaign negation. Like, I remember auditing this brand, and they're selling, like, for example, adult toothpaste. There is so many search terms that are being triggered by people looking to buy a toothpaste for their kids. So the intent is completely irrelevant. Like I said, the AI does not know your product, your margins. It will go ahead and it will throw this wide net, to all it cares about meeting the target ACoS. It will not do negations. It will not look at your product page, and that is hurting the margins again. The optimization is based on the noise, not on data. Like I said, when most of the campaigns are sitting at $50 or less over the last 60 days, that's noise. There is so many market changes happening, and it's just the optimizations is doing, they're not even that meaningful to begin with. This 5 to 15 clicks per campaign, there is zero statistical confidence. Whatever adjustment they're happening that software is doing is going to be even useful. And so, what do we propose here to this client? How do we fix this account from burning $37,000 on completely wasting their money to not only getting this account more profitable, maintaining sales, but also increasing the sales? So we are just replacing that weak foundation with a proper foundation. Now, this approach I recommended to them is kind of aggressive because, a PPC jumpstart, we jumpstart the accounts. Jumpstart meaning we are not there with you for a couple of months, and we tell you it takes a couple of months to learn. In the very first week, you see the results because we jumpstart things. That's why it's called PPC jumpstart. It's very different from, there are good agencies in space, there are a lot of bad agencies. We will not tell you that we need time to learn, algorithm needs to optimize, or all this other BS. We literally jumpstart things, and they start working on the very first months. And that's what I'm proposing. We removes all of that noise. We limit the account to 80 campaigns total. 5 to 10 keywords per product, not more than that. We need to reduce the dependency on the advertising so that we increase the profit margins. We keep the one-to-one campaign structure. Like, this is a good structure, but just not at the level that this account is using their advertising at 1,000 campaigns. We have a tiered budget allocation by SKU. Top 20% of they'll have more of the budget. Bottom 20, they'll have no budget, very little budget. Master plus per portfolio negative lists. Like I said, like every client we manage, there is a master negative list. Master negative list includes branded keywords, competitors' names, and things like cheap, cheap, etc., under $10, etc., just removing the people who would want to spend less, and they're typically convert worse. Like, I already have a list of searches that we want to negate for all of the brands we manage. And we also have per portfolio negative lists. Every product that you manage, it lives in its own portfolio, and every product has its own unique intent, be it an adult toothpaste, workout gloves, vitamin C supplement, and each of these portfolios has its own negative list. And being so granular, it makes your targeting so much better that you're not showing up for these search terms like people wouldn't even buy from to begin with. And then real tacos targeted portfolio with budget caps. So the tacos is going to depend on your margins. The product is selling for $6. Like I will not, or say $12. Like I will not let the client tell me to optimize 100% tacos because that is not sometimes very realistic. But the product selling for $200, the targets are going to be very different. So that's all I'm trying to say. Brand defense, non-brand, competitor split, and most of this will be done using sponsored display that currently this account is not using at all. Now, what does the recovery looks like in dollars? And you know, that scenario isn't even like it's not even an optimistic scenario. This is a realistic scenario. Quick wins in week 1. We can already save this brand $11,000 in monthly wasted spend. We can completely eliminate it. And you know, like I mentioned, there was $34,000 here, so I'm proposing we save 1/3 of it. For the any high ACoS targets, we are probably gonna save at least 1/3 of it, right? So that's already $5,500. And consolidating campaigns that could eliminate about $4,000. So that is $21,000 spending less and getting at least the same kind of sales, and that's $250,000 recovered in your sales. That's literally money in your pocket that you could spend on a more efficient PPC that we're about to deploy on this account. So now we can go through we can go through this plan, but I've already explained everything. And the last point of this, summing this all up, that you know, this brand has very strong SKUs. Like they've been in the market for a while. A lot of reviews, very PPC dependent because they don't have a proper structure in place. Very strong products. The products work, but the platform structure sucks. And it's not even like it's an architecture problem. Like I said, thousands of campaigns, no proper data to optimize it. So this is audit we've done for one of the clients. If you're watching this video and you're using an AI management software to manage things, I highly recommend you that you get one of these audits done. And you know, if you'd like to see how we manage campaigns and accounts in this agency of mine, I'm going to include a video here showing the latest ACoS hacks that you can implement for your account today that will guarantee to improve your performance.